Fundamentally, influence and persuasion works best when arousing specific emotions in the other person. This includes respect, passion, enthusiasm, outrage over unfairness, and camaraderie.
People adept at this are able to sense or even anticipate an audience reaction to their message and can effectively carry everyone along towards their goal. It's just like playing chess, when you have to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of your opponent.
Also critical is being able to notice when logical arguments are failing and a more emotional appeal will work. Like, hey guys, wanna buy my shoe?
No!
But it's the best shoe ever! Emotional competence is, however, the hallmark of a superior influencer. It refers to one's ability to express or release one's inner feelings or emotion, and it implies ease around others and determines one's ability to effectively and successfully lead and express. It's like having high EQ. Like, you don't laugh at a funeral, neither do you cry at a wedding.
First off, for emotional competence is impression management. You would likely buy this hat from me because I look like someone who would wear this hat. Next, appeals to logic and reason. The MacBook is the best laptop for the designer because of specifications within the laptop. Thirdly, you have dramatic arguments or actions, which are basically just dramatic arguments or actions. Next, you have building correlations and behind-the-scenes support.
Smoke quiz! Woo!
Yeah, exactly that. And next, you have emphasizing key information. Like you say, this phone is not used, it's pre-loved.
So now let's talk about how to influence. First, build a rapport. Empathy is crucial for wielding influence. It is difficult to have a positive impact on others without first sensing how they feel and understanding their positions and where they come from. If you're poor at reading social skills and inept at social interactions, you will be poor at influence. So to influence, you have to first build a rapport, and to do that, you just need empathy.
Persuasion is lubricated by identifying a bond or finding a commonality with another person. So you find something in common with them, and then you have that influence over them. Like, hey, are you a soccer fan? Me too! Now buy my shoe, be my friend, please.
This next step is essential. Spreading change within a large organization requires the use of a network of local leaders. These individuals are known, liked, and respected. However, the most effective in rapport building is a reliance of indirect strategies. This means that you, the influencer, has to make the crucial argument. Establish chains of influence, like we spoke about before, setting up effective behind-the-scenes correlations. For support, shape the presentation of information in subtle ways so that everyone easily and fluidly arrives at the desired consensus. Consensus building is crucial. It is the single most reason for the failure of plans due to imperious management. 58% rate of success when there is imperious management versus 96% rate of success when there is a consensus built.
People who fail to connect emotionally with their audience fall at the bottom of the influence competence hierarchy, lacking the means to get their message across. He might not have the skills or relationships established. Actors should also not rely on persuasive effects of aid, such as elaborate overhead projections or elegant statistical analysis of data.
No matter how intellectually brilliant we are, or we think we are, the brilliance will fail to shine if we are not persuasive. Other signs of weakness in the ability to persuade include the failure to build a coalition or get buy-in, over-reliance on a familiar strategy instead of choosing the best one for the moment, bull-headed promotion of a point of view, no matter the feedback, being ignored or failing to inspire interest, or having a negative effect.
Finally, the Machiavellian manipulator. The Machiavellian manipulator is a type who can thrive in organizations that are more politically oriented rather than performance oriented. People like this are really effective at upward communication in an organization but are poor at downward communication. This is because they don't really care about the organization or the people. They only feel obligated or care about themselves. This means that they are good at maneuvering politically in a company, even though that they are not the nicest people in the world. They are effective in organizations that are politically oriented rather than performance oriented. But we must remember that charm and social polish does not add up to competence and influence, for these people will sooner or later be found out.
Machiavellian drive to personal success at all costs does not equate to true influence. Power exhibited in the influence competence is socialized and harmonious with the collective goal rather than that of the personal one.
Leadership emphasizes on the importance of establishing establishing rapport and using emotional attunement to persuade people.
Leaders are the key source of the organization's emotional tone. A segment of a leader can move an entire group in that direction. This energy allows the leader to set the course and direction of the organization they are leading. Emotional charisma of a leader helps to increase the emotional flow within the group.
Highly expressive leaders use facial expressions, gestures, and voice. It allows them to move, inspire, and captivate people.
Charismatic leaders are able to convey emotions sincerely and convincingly.
Rovageri! Axiosentas, mentiosentas, kilonipilos luevale tolviosenatas, ininio drigatas, urnelue dolere prisotas!
While manipulative leaders are unable to convince followers with their sincerity. Emotional competence makes up 2/3 of a leader's performance. So, these are the 3 main clusters of competencies. Great leaders integrate emotions into realities and instill meaning and resonance with strategy. Such leaders are able to excite and inspire followers to move in desired directions. The power of a leader allows them to set either a positive or negative tone to an organization. A superior leader often manages to balance a people-oriented personal style with a decisive command role. Emotional tone set by leaders ripples downwards with precision. The best leaders are sociable. They make sure that information flows and communication exists between staff and management.
Okay. A common mistake that leaders make is to be more assertive when necessary. So being well liked is more important than getting the job done. And workers get confused with instructions that they aren't clear or firm.
Assertiveness, self-control, and focus is the key to being a top leader. Having a formal position in an organization does not mean that the actual role of a leader matches up. People may take leadership roles from time to time during special needs, and it applies to lower level employees challenging higher level employees as well. These moves require self-confidence initiatives to pull it off.
Next up is communication. Now, communication requires you to listen openly and send convincing messages. People with this competence generally tend to be effective in give and take, registering emotional cues, and attuning their message. They are able to deal with difficult issues straightforwardly and listen well, seek mutual understanding, and welcome sharing of information fully. Let's take a look at Amy and Sheldon's butter conversation.
And now, after 360, comes Xbox One. Why one? Maybe that's how many seconds of thought they put into naming it.
Can you get the butter, please?
Yeah, however, with the Xbox One, I can control my entire entertainment system using voice commands. Up until now, I've had to use Leonard.
Then get the other one. Pass the butter.
Hang on. I don't feel like you're taking this dilemma seriously.
As we saw there, fostering open communication and staying receptive to bad news is good as well. Creating and maintaining an atmosphere of openness ensures that the possibility of getting the best out of people is at the highest. Let's go back to the Big Bang Theory to see what happens.
Anyway, I'm among a handful of scientists that have been asked to submit a design proposal for the message and its delivery system.
Excellent.
And I was wondering if any of you guys would like to help me do it?
Are you kidding? Yes! What did you have in mind?
I'll tell you exactly what you should do. Avoid the presumption of the Terran sensory input paradigm.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a device capable of delivering information across a wide range of perceptual modalities.
Any intelligent organism would at the very least need the ability to locate the position of objects in space. So, the ideal interstellar lingua franca would be haptic.
Ooh, how about a 3D tactile communicator rig for cross-sensory transposition?
Exactly what I expected. 2 people forcing their ideas on me, and only 1 gentleman who could be bothered to ask me what my thoughts were. You 2 are out. Congratulations, Leonard. You're on the team.
My mommy raised a gentleman.
Next up is mood and meaning. Now, being an adept communicator is the keystone of all social skills. Among managers, communications competence strongly distinguishes star performers from an average or poor one. The lack of this ability, as seen in the account manager's boss, can torpedo morale. So you may be wondering, how do you listen properly? Doing this is easier said than done, and we need to work on our listening skills. Listening skills include asking astute questions, being open-minded and understanding, not interrupting, and seeking suggestions. So, to keep account for about a third of people's evaluation of whether someone they work with is an effective communicator. Being in control of our own moods is also essential for good communication. Now, we need to aim for this for a neutral mood, as this is the best strategy in anticipation of dealing with someone else. If only because it makes us an emotional clean state and allows us to adapt to whatever the situation calls for. A neutral mood leaves us ready to be more fully involved, present, rather than emotionally removed. Now, keeping cool. Being caught up in a strong consuming mood is a roadblock to smooth interaction. You have to exercise emotional control and keep cool so as to stay open to what you are hearing. Fine-tuning your responses instead of taking a one-size-fits-all approach. Being socially outgoing and extroverted is not the only guarantee for being an effective communicator. Hey!
Hello.
What constitutes effective communication in one culture may fail miserably in another. Let's take a look at Ross, who's being told that Rachel is pregnant.
I'm pregnant. Ross. Ross. Okay, whenever you're ready. And you're the father, by the way, but you go.
Now we'll be talking about change catalysts. The people with this competency recognize the need for change and remove barriers, challenge the status quo to acknowledge the need for change, champion the change and enlist others in its pursuit, and model the change expected of others.
Domino's Pizza listened to the feedback from its customers about how their crust tasted like cardboard. They started a series of advertisements admitting that their pizza was the worst, and they completely revamped their recipe and are now one of the biggest pizza brands in the world. By recognizing the need for change, the CEO of Domino's Pizza can be considered a change catalyst.
Today, organizations are constantly changing by reshuffling, merging, and going global. Employees who can lead through this change are highly valuable. Cook up an effective change catalyst by adding these key ingredients.
Leadership qualities: self-confidence, influence, commitment, motivation, initiative, optimism, instinct for organizational politics, but most importantly, passion and perseverance.
A change catalyst is someone who wants the change badly enough and is passionate about it. Someone who will not stop at any means to get the change done. One good example of a transformational leader is Barack Obama.
A charismatic leader is needed in times of transformation. They don't direct or order, they inspire. They are emotionally and intellectually stimulating, and they show a strong belief in their vision and excite others about pursuing it with them. They are committed to nurturing relationships with those they lead, appealing to people's sense of meaning and value. Instead of traditional methods of encouragement using rewards like pay and promotions, they motivate workers by arousing emotions about the work they do. This style brings greater effort and performance from subordinates, making work more effective.
Imagine a company going through tough times. As they follow a group of managers, they notice the difference in managerial styles led to different percentage achievement of goals, from 17% to 84%. You guessed it, the transformational style had the most success. While standard management was seen as controlling and restricting to workers, successful leaders were rated by people who worked for them as highly charismatic and flexible. Their confidence and competence was contagious and made workers more imaginative, adaptive, and innovative.
This is the difference between management and leadership. Leaders appeal to their workers' emotions and is thus seen as an emotional craft. By caring for their workers, the productivity increases as well.
So, we meet different people every day, go through different situations, and it is inevitable for conflicts to arise. Therefore exists conflict management. What is conflict management? Conflict management essentially is to try to minimize the negative aspects of a conflict and try to produce productive results from it. Therefore, of course, a few right ways and wrong ways to go about doing it.
First up, let's talk about the good ways. A person who's skillful at conflict management possesses a knack in sensing when a problem is brewing through non-verbal cues such as
folding arms or defensive posture, pursed lips, sideways glares.
The simple act of being willing to negotiate is already the first step to reaching a successful negotiation. Also, people who keep an open mind tend to experience a smoother negotiation process as well,
aka no judgment.
Furthermore, they also take initiative in finding ways to resolve the issue rather than focusing on shifting blames. Like, don't you hate it when people keep harping on the same issues?
Let's move on to the bad ways, aka things that will worsen a state of conflict than it already is.
There are some general mistakes that people make that could actually ignite a conflict or worsen one, such as not being able to view things from the other person's perspective, outweighing one person's personal interests over others, and not possessing the adequate EQ.
Try to practice this in your daily interactions, and maintaining peaceful relationships will be as easy as breathing.
Next, let's talk about conflicts within channel relationships.
Channel relationships are interdependent relationships that usually involves a manufacturer and retailer.
There are three types of channel conflict. 1. Horizontal, which is between retailers. 2. Vertical, which is between retailers and distributors. 3. Multiple, which is between e-commerce, modern retailers, and small businesses. So for the first two types of conflict, it's pretty straightforward. However, for the multiple conflict, it happens when there's an involvement of companies that are based online. These manufacturer versus retailer relationships usually involves discussion and negotiation that involves terms of payment, delivery timelines, etc. And that can be categorized into three types of negotiation styles. So, problem-solving style involves efforts from both parties that are willing to generate an optimal solution that will benefit each other equally. Compromise includes both parties reaching a conclusion that satisfies either's needs to an acceptable extent. So for aggression, it's quite straightforward. It just refers to having one party employing coercion in their partnership. So interpersonal relationships rely greatly on influence between the two parties involved on each other. Therefore, as long as the right influence is exerted, conflict can definitely be minimized.